Have you ever felt like your thoughts didn't quite belong in the conversation? Like every time you spoke, the air got heavier. Not because you were wrong, but because you were real. If so, you're not alone. And it's not a flaw. The truth is, society has a complicated relationship with deep thinkers. People who ask why when others say just because. People who notice the cracks in what everyone else calls solid ground. And more often than not, those people end up walking alone. Let's rewind to the philosopher Baruch Spinoza, excommunicated, exiled, forgotten until centuries later. Why? Because he dared to question what no one else would. Deep thought isn't just rare, it's often rejected. Not because it's wrong, but because it's uncomfortable. The deeper you think, the more you see the scaffolding that holds society together. Beliefs, customs, assumptions. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You begin to notice how much of life is scripted, how often people speak without really thinking, how conformity wears the mask of truth. And this creates tension. Not because the thinker is trying to rebel, but because their very presence disrupts the rhythm. Most people want agreement, harmony, simplicity, but deep thinking is anything but simple. There's a concept in psychology called social mirroring, the tendency to reflect the attitudes and behaviors of those around us. Deep thinkers break that mirror. They speak in questions, not affirmations. They don't follow the script. They rewrite it, and people notice, but not always in a good way. In fact, a 2019 study from the University of Cambridge found that individuals who express complex, nuanced opinions are often perceived as less likable in group settings. Why? Because nuance slows down consensus, and in a fast-moving world, people crave certainty, not subtlety. This is where the thinker becomes the outsider. It's not that they don't belong, it's that they don't blend in. Their depth feels like a disturbance. Their honesty feels like a threat. And yet they keep thinking. Because to stop would be to betray something internal. A kind of loyalty to truth, to meaning, to seeing the world as it is. Not just as it's sold, but solitude is the cost. And silence becomes a companion. Not the silence of loneliness, but of clarity. Because when the noise fades, thought deepens. And in that space, many have found their voice. Nietzsche, Emily Dickinson, Kierkegaard. They weren't afraid of the dark. They wrote from it. So if you've ever felt like your mind is too much for the room you're in, if your words are met with confusion or even coldness, it doesn't mean you're broken. It might just mean you see more. And sometimes the clearest vision comes to those who are willing to stand alone. If this made you pause, if you're drawn to deeper truths and quiet strength, then you're in the right place. Like, subscribe, and keep exploring with us.